So I just drew these flames right here, and it didn't even take me about 2 minutes. So what I'm doing is trying to make an example of painting graphics. So the first thing I did was I drew those flames, and just so you can see, I can draw a flame or whatever. I should be using a pencil. It's not hard to draw a flame. I've done tattoos for a while. I can draw flames. You draw all kinds of stuff. It's not hard at all. So as you can see, I can draw these flames. Now the second step to this is going to be interesting because I'm going to cut it out. So I'm going to use just this to put behind my cut. I'm actually want to go with the bigger box. Well, yeah, we're gonna go with the bigger box on. We'll go with the bigger box on this one, just to make sure. So obviously, doing this for the first time or whatever, when you're doing this and you want to paint it on your car, you want to try to design these graphics first. You might have to do it a couple of times. Now, when you cut it out, when you're cutting it out, okay. I don't know if you can see it or not. I don't know if you can see it or not. But anyways, when I'm cutting this out, so when I'm cutting this out, this is really the most important part. And it's the same thing as using a pen or whatever. But it has to do with the pressure of cutting it and all that. So sometimes you have to do this a couple of times. And also there's other steps that you can take to do a better job. Cutting is the hardest. To me, I can draw it easily. I can draw just about anything I want. Cutting it out is another thing. So that's when I'm drawing, I kind of want to, when I'm drawing it, and I know it's going to be for decals, I try to use bigger lines. I don't want to use a lot of small stuff because when you cut it out, it might run into the other cut and then turn into a big hole or something. So I try to use bigger lines, bigger cuts, just as a rule of thumb on this. And you just cut it out. Pretty much, right on, you're following the line, tracing the line. Now with flames, if you mess the line up, it will mess up the whole flame. Just one bad cut will actually ruin the effect completely of a flame. So you want to be real close on the line. It doesn't matter how long you take. I mean, unless you're doing this, if you're doing this for your own hobby, for your own personal use, or just to try to learn how to do something, then this take as long as you need to do it. That way you get it done right. So you've seen all the flames that I had drawn on there. Well, I only decided to use the one big one for an example, just to make it easier, because if I do all those small flames, it'd be really hard to cut those small flames out first. Second, they're going to run into each other. Now, it can be done, but you got to really watch your cuts. And also, uh, after you do this, you can't lay uh, extra tape over the cardboard or whatever, obviously, for your painting surface. Because you're going to use this cardboard as an outline on whatever vehicle or whatever you're going to put this graphic that you're drawing, whatever you're going to paint it on, you can use the same cardboard right here. And that's the reason for cutting this out. Because this cardboard right here is going to be the way that we paint it on. And then, with different paints that you may have, is obviously going to create a better effect when painting. If you got some real expensive paints, if you got different kinds of paint guns, it's going to make it to where it comes out better. If you got some spray paint, some cheap stuff, it's only going to come out as good as the paint you're using, and the color. So you also want to use your whatever paint you got, test it on something else first before you use it to paint the graphics if you don't know the exact color, because it might come out something that you don't even like the color of. And then if that's the case, you'll get an opportunity to get some better paint. So that's all I'm gonna do for right now. And this is the SRT Dodge Neon Gang Part 2 coming up.